So I thought I'd come here to the farm because most people don't even realize this exists anymore, and it's a nice quiet place, and I had not been here for quite a while, and I just wanted to go over how I was able to get all of the Pinnacle Crucible weapons in the game, and how I did it with being an extremely average Crucible player. I think a lot of people find this really frustrating. You look at the quests for Recluse and Mountaintop and other Pinnacle weapons that have come with each new season or DLC, and they think, oh man, that's way too hard. I'm not going to be able to get that. But I'm going to go through some tips of what I did to get all of them, and hopefully some of this stuff will help you out as well. Some of this stuff is not relative anymore because of how they are changing how rank will be earned in comp once the new season starts in October. But you can still take some of this and use it for your own personal benefit. And I'll just go through real quick. Revoker, Recluse, Luna's Howl. Now I know you're saying, oh, well, where's Mountaintop? That is... hold on one second. Got lost in my own menu. There's Mountaintop. It's almost complete. I have a little bit more to go. I haven't completed it yet because right now getting multi-kills in Crucible with a grenade launcher really sucks. So I am waiting for Iron Banner to come back. That 60% progress that you see was done during the last Iron Banner. So I'm going to wait for it to come back around before the whole season resets again, because we get one more before October 1st, before Shadowkeep, and then I'll be able to finish that off and get Mountaintop. So, as far as what I did, as far as my current stats too, my KAD, I don't know if I have the emblem on my character. Let me look real quick for you. I don't. But my KAD is approximately 1.1. My comp actual KD ratio is 0.77. I am by no means a good Crucible player, but as you can see, I do have these weapons. So you're probably asking, what did I do and what can you do to accomplish the same thing? There are certain steps that you have to do. You have to take a certain responsibility upon yourself to do some of this stuff. It's not going to get handed to you. You're just not going to walk into comp without a game plan and just start getting rank and getting weapons without putting the effort into it. And what I mean the effort, this is what I mean by that. You have to find a weapon or a weapon type that you are good with. Do you like scouts? Do you like hand cannons? What is your weapon of choice? What are you good at using? And on top of that, you want to find something that has a good roll on it. So once you find a good roll for a PvP weapon, go into stuff like Rumble. Don't do quick play, because quick play is a mess. There's so many people running around in quick play. Some of the maps are too small for 6v6. And you just have people coming from everywhere, coming at you, and it's just really difficult to be able to practice and get good with a weapon. So go into Rumble. There's only, at the max, 5 other people you have to deal with, and it doesn't matter which map you're on. It doesn't get too crowded. So that's the first step. Start practicing in Rumble. Find a weapon that you're good with, a weapon that you're comfortable with, that you like, and that has a good roll on it. And if you don't have a good roll on some, there's plenty of activities you can do in the game that drop these weapons that will give you a good roll. The Menagerie is a good option if you're looking for a hand cannon or anything like that. That may help complement the playstyle that you have. And once you get your weapons sorted out and you start playing, and you're going to have to be good to a certain point. But when I say to a certain point, I'm not talking like MTash and Triple Rec, because my stats are not that great. 0.77 KD in comp is my rating, and I have these weapons. You don't have to be awesome at playing, you just have to play smart, and that's the key. So on top of the weapons and practicing and getting just a little bit better, the other key feature is your armor, and that is really, really big. And even though with Shadowkeep coming, the armor is changing from what we have now, everything's going to go to mod slots, it's still going to be important to have a really good loadout for comp or for Crucible in general. So this still applies, but if we go to my armor, I'm going to go over each armor set that I use for Crucible. This is my Crucible setup that I use. I use this the whole time when I'm on my grind comp, and my weapons I use was the last word, and I don't have it on my character right now, but I use the truss that's rolled from Gambit, from the rank up, from the Drifter. It's got the silver shader on it, and it's rolled automatically. It's pretty nice. I use that and the last word. The perks on my armor set, this is a really good roll from Zur. It came with enhanced hand cannon targeting, and I went in using those two hand cannons and this helmet, and it made a world of difference as far as how much better I could play with perks such as this on the armor to help complement the weapons. The gauntlets have hand cannon loader, so I could reload my hand cannons even faster. Chest piece, unflinching hand cannon aim. The boots are huge as well. Enhanced hand cannon dexterity, which help with handling of the weapon. These drop from the menagerie. And as far as enhanced perks on weapons, this isn't probably going to apply after Shadowkeep, but these types of armor pieces will drop from the menagerie, the raid, mostly higher Pinnacle activity can go into. These messages keep screwing me up from random people. The Dream in City is another one. The Dream in City will drop enhanced armor pieces. And the Mark, I don't think I had anything too special on the Mark. That may have not been the one that I used. I wouldn't have used this one here. Hand cannon reserves. And that's the one that I used. So that was my loadout. And another thing that I did, one of the problems that people have with comp, is they go in and they keep playing and playing and playing, trying to get to that 2100 for the Recluse and the other weapons where you had to get Fabled. So the problem is with that is if you keep playing, say you play 10 games, 15 games, when you're done playing, it's a pretty good chance that you are going to be below the points where you started out at. And I figured that out early on. I realized that just mindlessly playing comp, going in game after game, and all this was done solo Q2. I played maybe a max of, I would say, 8 to 10 games total, all the way to Fabled, where I actually played with someone else, either from my clan or someone else that was on my friends list. The rest of this was done all in solo queue. But what I did was I reached the point where I realized that I was losing more points than I was gaining because I was playing so much. So I started to limit the amount of play that I actually did. When you go into comp, if you play 3 games a week, minimum of 3, you only have to play 3 total, you will get bonus points of 120 points at reset. So I took the amount of time that I had left in the season, how many weeks I had left, how many resets I had available, where my points were, and I figured out all the numbers, all kinds of math that I did with how many games I needed to play, how many games I needed to win, plus my reset points on Tuesday. What came out was that I needed to play 3 games a week. That's all I played. And that I was probably at Heroic 1 at the time. From that point on, I started this back in early July, like July 10th or 11th. And just this past week, I got all the weapons at reset because I hit Fabled. So what I did was from right around Heroic 2 or Heroic 1, it was right around there somewhere. I played 3 games per week, and I needed to win 1 game out of the 3. Usually that's fairly easy. Usually you won't go in and get smoked all 3 games. You usually get 1 win. So I got my 1 win each week, played 3, and stopped playing. And then went to my reset points on Tuesday, and on my bout on Tuesday, and I was ahead on points of what I would have been if I just mindlessly kept playing nonstop. And I just kept that up, and the last reset that came about when I got all these weapons, I was at 2104 for comp. And you can see that now. If I go into, because I haven't played any games since then, this is my competitive 2104, and I haven't touched it since then because I got all the weapons that I wanted. And I'm just trying to help some of you people out that may be having a hard time getting these weapons. I think it's going to be a lot easier when Shadowkeep comes out. So some of this stuff may not be relevant as far as like the perks on the armor, because we're not going to have armor perks like we do now. It's all going to be mod slotted, so that's going to be different, but you're still going to have to mod your character appropriately for the weapon type that you are using that you're comfortable with. And if you do these things and keep track of your points and don't think that you have to go in and get Fabled in 1 week or 2 weeks, take your time. I got all of these weapons in less than 2 months by playing the way that I did, the way that I just described. It really wasn't that hard. It was frustrating sometimes, but if you stay focused and keep playing, you can definitely get them. And the other tip that I can give you is if you're going to start going for Pinnacle Crucible weapons, starting with Shadowkeep, do it early. Do not wait. Start playing Crucible now. Start getting a little bit better. Start getting familiar with the weapons that you want to use. And when Shadowkeep drops, start going for the new weapons immediately or working on some of the older ones, because these will still be available after Shadowkeep comes out. But once we find out what the new weapons are, I'm going to start going for those very early on. There'll be a lot of people playing, and if you're going to solo queue, especially with the way they change in comp, you can now solo queue without getting stacked against a whole other group, like some of the problem that I ran into when I was doing it. I would get stacked with a team of 2 or 3 people against my group, which was all solo queue people. But they're doing a mode now where you can go in solo or you can go in with a group. So that will help drastically as well. But that's pretty much it. I mean, follow those simple steps, and I think your path to getting these weapons will be much easier. Like I said, I'm very, very average player. I'm not that great, and I still got them. If I can get them, I was someone who never thought I could get these weapons, and I did. So if I can do it, you definitely can too. If you have any questions or anything like that, leave it in the comments. And I'm also going to link a video in the description of one of my Rumble plays that I did with this armor setup that I used for Crucible and with the last word, and how I just dominated everybody. It wasn't like that every single game, but it just shows you how well you can play when you pair together the right armor pieces with the right weapon, with a weapon type that you are comfortable with using and are better at using than some of the other ones. So I hope this helps out some of you. Like I said, if you have any questions, leave it in the link below, and I will definitely get back to you and answer anything that you may have. But until then, enjoy the game, keep playing, and have a great time. Thanks for watching.